Hello, it's Tuesday night and
Oh,
it is 6:30 in New York City. So that means it's time for another Tuesdays in the Shop. And this week Jen has the day off, I guess, or the night off. I don't know how to phrase that. So you got me, Yvette, and Andrea, and we are the owners of Gotham Quilts here in New York City. And we are here today to show you a brand new fabric collection that just arrived. And this one is for you dog fans out there. Are you a dog person or a cat person? If you're a dog person, this video is for you. Andrea, do you want to take it
you're
over?
not. I mean, I'm not really a dog person, but these
Oh,
are
I
some
can't
really
hear
cool
you.
fabric.
Can't
What?
hear you at all. Oh, wait. I muted myself and I forgot. You sound fine. Keep going.
Okay, sorry. We were messing with the sound right before we started, which is why
Yeah.
I was very frustrated when she said she couldn't hear me. It's like, we
Yeah.
just went through this.
And it was my fault because I had muted my computer because I didn't want to hear the music that we play when it's the intro.
See?
Yeah.
Anyway. Yes, fabrics.
Starting
We're
again.
talking about dog fabrics. Very cute dog fabrics. Even if dogs are not, I mean, I'm a cat person. I don't dislike dogs, but definitely more of a cat person. But these are some really cute fabrics.
Yeah, I'm the dog person in this relationship.
Yeah. But you have a cat
Oh,
too,
and
so
Jen
you're-
too.
Yeah.
Jen has like 3 dogs.
Yeah. No, I don't have any dogs. Although my daughter would really like a dog, but wait until
Yeah.
she's a little bit older, at least.
Yeah, she's
for
definitely
that.
not going to do any of the work involved in
Definitely
having a
not.
dog. No.
Okay. Well, let me start showing you some fabrics.
Yes, please.
So Dog Park is the name of the collection. It's by Sarah Watts from Ruby Star. And this one is just so cute. See if I can.
I love that happy golden retriever
I know
face.
he looks like
It's
such a good boy.
Yeah.
Like this one should almost be called Good Boy. Good
Yes.
Boy. This one is
And-
actually called Golden Garden.
What's really cool about this one is she has the mirror image.
Yes.
So some of the dogs are
facing
facing right, some of the dogs are facing left. So depending on what you're doing, if you're doing like fussy cutting, this really helps you do like a mirror image thing.
Yeah.
Could be really cool.
And the flower stems are really stylized in this really cool like Art Nouveau style that I really like. I think that's really cool. So that is Garden Golden or Garden Golden, I think.
Okay.
Or Golden Garden. I don't remember exactly. The
Let
next
me-
one is one of my
Golden
favorites.
Garden.
Golden
Shell.
Garden. Okay. So the next one is my favorite, and it is called Deco Pup.
Oh yeah, that's the blender that comes in lots of colors.
Yeah,
Right?
so this is very Art Deco with that little. I'm not sure if it's a
I think it's a French bulldog.
French bulldog. There you go. We'll go with
Yeah.
that. So that cute little French bulldog in there in this cool Art Nouveau or not. So there, this is Art Deco. This cool Art Deco kind of artwork there in the background. I think that's so cool, and I love this color. It's blue with just a touch of green. Like it's not really teal. I think they call it teal actually.
It's
But
like just not quite teal.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely blue as opposed to turquoise, I would say. But it's the perfect color. I think I love that color. And here it is again in sand, maybe.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to see the print in this colorway.
So this, you can see it a little bit better here.
Could you show it closer to the camera so we can see the little puppy's head?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cute. I kind of want to do a bunch of fussy cutting with this one too because it
Oh, I
has
know.
these straight lines and then the arcs. You could do so many cool things.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like the artwork on that one. My next favorite is a dog dear to Yvette and Jen.
Yes.
And this one is called Long Dog.
Yes, of course it is. And
It's
I love it.
appropriate and they're cute. So one of them even has some of them even have little eyelashes, making them look a little bit.
Because that's the girls. Yeah.
Totally. Girls have eyelashes. Boys
Would you
don't.
call that one stripe?
That's a good question.
Because it kind of isn't, right? Since they're so
No, I
close
think it's more of
together.
an all over because
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, their bodies kind of create a stripe, but I think the ears break it up.
Right. And they're really close together. Like if there was
Yeah,
space between them, I think it would be more of a stripe, right?
yeah, I agree. I wouldn't call it a stripe.
Yeah.
And then long dog again.
Ooh, that's a pretty blue too.
Yeah,
How
these
does
are.
that blue compare to the not quite teal blue?
It is not as dark. So let me hold them up together so you can see.
Ah, yeah, I can see it.
So yeah, so the first one is definitely much darker. This one is a
Yep.
brighter, truer blue, I would
Yeah.
say. Yeah, so long dog. And dog medley is the next one coming up. So this one you've got a bunch of breeds, not just one. You got, well, Yvette is better at breeds than I am, but
Yeah, I think there's like 10 in there.
Dalmatians
And a fun
Collies.
story that I heard from Sarah is that when she decided she was going to do a dog collection, she sent an email to her mailing list of fabric people, and she asked, which breeds do you want? She did like a poll of her fans, and that's how she picked which breeds are in this print, which I think is brilliant. And of course, there's
because a lot of
Dachshund.
dog
Yay.
people are very particular.
Oh yeah, I'm still offended that Tula's besties didn't have a dachshund in it. How dare she?
How dare she?
Yeah,
So that is
no one
also
asked me.
medley. And then we have
I
some
should
more
be consulted
Blended.
for every decision.
Well, but also there's so many dog breeds. Like somebody's gonna have to be left out.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be me.
So this one is Dog Park. This might be a little hard to see. I'll try to.
Oh yeah, and that colorway, it looks just like
Yeah,
a
so
mess
this
online.
is trees with dogs kind of on hills. Here, I'll
And is
hold
that
up the
one a
pink.
little bit pink or only beige?
No, I think it's this camera switches. The next one is definitely pink though.
Right. Yeah,
this
that
one
one's
is a
much
little bit
clearer
better.
to see the print. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
so
pretty
it's
cool
nice.
print.
Little dogs on hills and trees. This one is called Dog Park.
For some
And
reason,
again,
this
she's
one,
got 5 or 6 different breeds in here too. Just
Yeah.
like the silhouette.
for some reason, that one really makes me think pillowcase. It's
It
like,
is kind of dream-like.
yeah,
Like,
and those
are
trees
almost
kind of
kind
look like clouds. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I could see that for sure.
And because Ruby Star prints on that lighter weight base
Mhm.
cloth, it would be so soft if you did
It is a
pillowcases.
very nice base cloth. This one is called Wonder Paw. So
Yeah,
you
that's a
can't have
good one too.
have a dog collection without a paw print.
Yeah.
So
And this
we've
is
got-
one of the most creative dog prints we've seen yet.
Yeah,
Usually they're just like,
scattered, but this
Right.
actually has a little diagonal stripe going on.
Yep.
But yeah, put that as the cuff of
ooh,
your
yeah.
pillowcase here. That would be nice. Yeah, so you've got, actually, I don't know if I would combine these two, but have the long dogs as the cuff and this is the body. That's pretty cute.
Yeah.
You
I
could
think if
do
I was
with
doing that
those
though,
colors.
the dachshunds would have to be the body.
Well, probably, but either way. So those are the prints that we got, and we have we do have full collection fat quarter bundles as well as smaller bundles that only include the prints that I've just shown you. So there's a chambray bundle that has the naturals and the blues. And then there's a dahlia bundle that has the pinks and the naturals as well. So it's the collection itself is like 26 fabrics or something. It's a very big collection.
Yeah.
And we just couldn't get all of it. So we got
He's always doing that, where these giant collections come out, you know.
I know they keep doing that. And I've asked them to like reel it in a little bit, but you know, it's their company. They can do what they want.
It's their style, yeah. So we have full collection fat quarter bundles. We also have full collection layer cakes and full collection charm packs.
Yes. So you can still get the full collection. And then, like I said, we have the smaller bundles of just natural and blue or natural and pink, the chambray or the dahlia. bundles as well that I believe are six-piece bundles, I think. So,
Yes.
if you want to get the full yards, that's a good way to do it in a smaller bites.
Yeah.
You can still get a lot out of 6 yards of fabric. You could do a whole quilt depending on what kind of quilt you're making, but not getting all 26 fabrics. But if you do want all 26 fabrics, you can still do that too with the Fat Quarter Bundle layer cakes or chart packs.
Yeah.
And
Let's
last
talk about let's talk
but
about
not least, they also have canvas.
Yeah.
So these are super fun. So it's all dog medley.
It's upside down.
Well, you're right. So
Oh my God. I love this one. And the scale
is very heavy though. So
the
this
scale
is dog
on
medley.
the canvas is a little bit bigger than the scale on the quilting weight of that print.
Yes, it is.
I think it
bit
is,
bigger.
right? Yeah.
Yes, a little bit, not a lot. Ugh, see if I can hold this up.
Yeah.
Nah,
I
it
really
didn't hold it
like
up very
those.
well.
Those are really nice canvases. And so for those
Yeah.
of you who don't know, when Ruby Star does a canvas, it's a linen cotton blend. So it has this really good texture. And it's not canvas in the sense of like
It's a lightweight
heavy,
canvas.
right. It's not like when you get a tote bag from from LL Bean,
LL Bean.
right?
Yeah,
Like it's not that texture. It's a lighter weight that you can make skirts out of. You can make accessories. I might make I might make
Definitely
a
great
dog
for
crate
bags.
cover because I need a cover for my dog's crate. And I think
Mhm.
this would be perfect.
Oh yeah, for sure. So this is the natural. And then we have, I can't remember what they called this color.
Let me find it for you.
The blue one.
That one is called Chambray.
Chambray. Okay. So this is basically the same nice bright blue as the long dog. It's just a really pretty nice blue.
Yeah, it's a really
again,
nice color.
There is a little bit of peach in this one. Some of these dogs are peach. I wouldn't call it pink, but
Yeah.
peach definitely. And then this like gingerbread kind of color in there too. And then we have the pink one, or it's actually kind of lavender.
Lavender, yeah. This is my favorite one. They
This
call the
one's really
colorway macaron. So like, those French pastries.
And
I guess it would be like a lavender macaron or whatever.
yeah, it's looking a little bit on my screen. It's looking a little bit more washed out than it actually is.
Yeah, I love this one. It's so beautiful in
nice,
real life.
pretty lavender,
Yeah.
which is actually not in any of the other prints.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so it's similar to the pink that's in this dog medley, but it's not the same. It's definitely more purple.
Cool.
But it's a very pretty purple. So we have all 3 of the canvas.
And it only came in those 3 colors, right?
Correct. Yes, we did get all of the canvas for sure.
Okay.
We weren't going to pass that up. And then since this substrate or this lightweight canvas is so good for bags, we put together a kit to make a simple tote bag, a lined tote bag. It's a great beginner project. We have the kits available in all 3 of the canvas colors, the natural.
Let me show it. I'm going to show the on screen. If this computer will cooperate.
That's always the problem.
All right, there we go. I love this so much. And of course, I picked the macaroon one to show because that's my favorite one.
So it's a simple lined tote bag with the gusset, the boxed corners. So it ends up being like 11 by 15 with like a 4-inch gusset kind of. Full instructions are included. I would consider it a beginner level pattern. So there's no zippers, there's nothing fancy. If you've not sewn bags, this is a great place to start. The fabric is nice to work with. The slightly heavier weight, it makes it a little bit easier to work with, to be honest.
Can you show which one is the lining for this
I
one?
certainly can, if I can find it here in my pile.
It says this Wander Paw and Shell.
So this, yes.
Oh, so cute.
So this
That
would
would
be
be so
lining for
cute.
any of the colors.
Okay.
This will be the lining for all of them, whether you get the natural, the chambray, or the macaron, but it goes with all of them. And no matter what kind of dog you have or what
Right.
you're into, this will still go with it. And it's light enough, you'll be able to find things in your bag.
Yes.
Which is another issue that I sometimes have in dark bags.
Yeah.
Stuff gets in there and then it's like, forget it. So this would be the
I'll show
lining.
the natural one now.
Sure.
It's pretty cute in the natural too, but my preference is the kind of lavender one.
Yeah, I mean they're all good. I mean the blue is great too. It's such a pretty blue.
Let's do the blue one next. Yeah, I think the blue one's your favorite, probably, right?
My favorite, yes.
Yeah. It's really
But
cute.
They are
And
all-
also, these are like 1 hour projects. They make really good gifts. It's like
you do.
you
Everybody
can never
can
have
use
it.
a tote bag.
Exactly. No one has enough tote bags except maybe us because we collect them from
Yeah.
all the different
And
vendors that
give
we
away
see.
all the- yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There was one year for my family, I didn't want to use wrapping paper, so I just put presents. My family is pretty low key when it comes to presents. I just put everybody's presents in tote bags. And
Perfect.
it wasn't supposed to be part of the gift, but they were all like, "Oh, I really like this tote bag. Can I
Good.
keep it too?" Of course you can.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like you
don't
gave it to
worry.
them and you weren't gonna give it to
Like,
them.
that's
yet.
fine. I got plenty more. Please
Yeah.
take it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say for an absolute beginner, it's going to take more than an hour. For a non-beginner, somebody that's experienced, you
Yeah.
probably could do it in an hour for sure. It's
Yeah.
not difficult. All straight lines, rectangles, all that good stuff.
Yeah, only straight lines and no like weird gussets or zippers or.
Well, it does have the boxed corner,
But
that's
that's
not
like an
really
easy
hard.
one.
Yeah, it is. It's an easy one. Yeah,
Yeah.
not like a true gusset, which can
Right.
get a little difficult.
And there's
the
no,
boxed
like,
corner.
Weird lining and zipper and like tabs and all this. Like you can get real complicated making a bag,
You
and this
can,
is
for
the
sure.
opposite of that.
Right. Keeping it simple. I did this as a beginner level class, or I used this pattern for a beginner level class when we had the store.
Yeah,
they
and that
also-
was for people who had
Came out
hardly
really
used a sewing machine at all, right? So yeah,
I
like really
think they had to take the intro to machine sewing, but that's also a 2-hour class. It's not.
Right.
It's not.
That's just like
thorough.
barely. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. It's learning to use the machine, not necessarily learning how to sew.
Right.
So yeah. So then you take the tote bag class, and that's like learning how to sew.
Yeah, it's a really good first project, especially
Definitely.
because like when you're cutting it out, you're just cutting out like squares and rectangles.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
It's a lot less intimidating.
Yeah, you don't
when
even have
you're-
to worry about pattern pieces. It's
Yeah.
literally rectangles. Yeah.
And when you're new, you like really don't want to ruin your fabric, right? Like you're so nervous to cut into your fabric to make a mistake. So this is like very approachable.
And this is one of those good ways. A lot of us are also afraid to cut into our fabric because we want to save it for something good.
Yeah.
But a tote bag is one of the best things you can use because you get to show it off and you get to look at it
Yeah.
every day. So it's
Yep.
not really like wasting or using. I mean, it is using, but it's in a way that you get to enjoy all the time.
Yeah. And you like use it all the time and see
Yeah.
it all the time.
Yeah,
So
totally.
I have a question for you, Andrea. When you make tote bags, especially like as gifts, do you pre-wash the fabric?
No.
No. Okay. I was just wondering. So
I
like,
haven't even thought about that until now, to be perfectly honest.
so the reason I'm asking for those of you who don't know is in general for quilting, most of us don't pre-wash our quilting fabric. The rule in quilting is that you either pre-wash everything or you pre-wash nothing. What you don't want to do is sew pre-washed fabric to unwashed fabric because they'll shrink at a different ratio. So you'll be cutting it up, sewing back together, and when you wash it, the finished thing, it might crinkle in weird ways. You never know exactly what you're going to get. But in general, for garment sewing, you always pre-wash. And that's because you want the pre-shrinking to happen before you cut out your pattern pieces so that you don't end up with like a weird seam on your shoulder, right? Because if
Totally,
you
yeah,
sewed
so-
this seam pre-washing, once you washed it, the seam wouldn't be flat anymore. It'd be like crinkly, which
The
is
whole garment
something.
is smaller.
Yeah.
You've done all that work and then it doesn't fit.
Yeah. So like us quilters, we like that crinkle, right? When we first wash the quilt and it gets all crinkly and loved, that's a feature, not a bug. But in a shirt, you do not want crinkly, right? And then like a tote bag is almost sort of like in between a garment and a
Yeah.
quilt because it's more simple, but it's also just like one big piece of fabric. So that leads me to think maybe you should pre-wash it so that when you first wash it, it doesn't crinkle.
To be honest, well, usually those crinkles, if it's just one seam, they come out with an iron or with use.
Yeah.
One of the reasons when you're quilting it, the crinkles are kind of set in is because of the batting and, you know, all the
Right.
texture involved. But
And the quilting.
right, exactly. With something like a tote bag, you know, once you start putting stuff in it and putting some weight in it, anything that might have crinkled is going to come out flat again. And actually, it just occurred to me that these are slightly different contents.
Right.
So the tote does have a little bit of linen in it, and the fabric itself is 100% cotton. I have not sewn with this specific linen blend before, but I have definitely mixed linen blends with 100% cotton that had not been washed, put them in a quilt together, washed them, and I had no issue whatsoever with different kinds of shrinkage.
Cool.
And again, for a tote bag, like even if it does shrink a little bit differently, like you're not going to notice it.
Yeah.
So
And I
don't think
did
that's gonna do it.
pre-wash from Ruby Star. I did pre-wash one of the other canvases, and it seemed like it shrunk basically the same amount as a quilting cotton does. Like
That's what I
roughly
would
a
expect. It is
shrink.
mostly cotton.
Yeah. So if anyone
it's
out there
a
was
bit softer.
thinking whether you need to pre-wash or not, I think our consensus is no, you don't need to.
Yeah, you could. You
Yeah.
you know, if you want to, you absolutely can, but don't feel like you have to.
Yeah.
And
I always
personally am
recommend.
lazy. I
Sorry.
do not wash. I'm personally lazy. I do not wash if I don't have
Same
to.
with me, especially in New York City where most of us don't have our own washer dryer. It's like
Exactly.
a commitment to have to pre-wash your fabric, right?
Exactly. Yep.
I do, however, recommend that people pre-wash their gifts. So like when you finish sewing the thing, I recommend you wash it before you give it to the recipient, because people who don't sew, they don't really understand this idea of like the first wash changes the texture. And I've had people think that they ruined the quilt that they got as a gift because when they
Oh,
received it, it was perfectly flat. And the first time they washed it, it got all crinkly and they like
Aw.
hid the quilt forever because they thought they were embarrassed that they ruined it, right? So like if you pre-wash it and then you gift it, then it's the same texture before and after they wash it.
That's a good point. I had never thought about that. I do pre-wash quilts before I give them away because a lot of them are baby quilts, and I
Yeah.
want to get all the sizing and the whatever finishes they have on the fabric.
And
I wanna
like the
get
dirt from your hands and
that too. Yeah, exactly. Or the cat hair from my house. Get all that off before I give it. But I never thought about tote bags, to be honest.
So
Yeah.
For me, since I would pre-wash this before I gifted it, I would pre-wash the fabric first and then make my tote bag because then I don't have to wash it again after I'm done making it. But-
Yeah, Sandra makes an excellent point. She puts a
Ooh.
note in her gift quilts along with some color catcher sheets.
Oh, that's
That
such a
is
good
an excellent
idea. We should make like a little packet, like with instructions. Yeah, that's such a good idea.
Tells you, what to expect, how to wash it, because that's another question a lot of recipients have. Well, how do I take care of this? How do I wash it?
Yeah,
And just throw it in with all your other clothes. Don't worry about it.
that's great.
But most
That was
people don't know
brilliant,
that.
Sandra. Good idea.
Yeah, great point. Let's see, what else do we have here?
I think I wanted to remind everybody that next week on Wednesday is is it next week or is it this week?
No, it's next week. Thread Talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thread Talk is next week on Wednesday, and we have Karen Boland coming to talk about essentially. Wait, my brain is like going a mile a minute, and I feel like everything I'm saying is wrong, but I think it might be
couldn't
right.
tell you.
Yeah, it is Karen Boland. So I'm going to share my screen again. So this is Wednesday at 8 p.m. New York City time. We always do our Thread Talk series the first Wednesday of the month at 8 p.m. New York City time. So this is the talk that's coming next week. And what's really cool about this talk is she's talking about, the topic is called special effects with color. And what she means by this is combining colors to create a new effect. So here's an example of a way like this. We usually call this concept transparency, where, this fabric, if you could picture it being added to this fabric, right? Like the difference is this. I'm not sure if she calls it transparency in her lecture, but we're going to find out.
Great.
And I'm excited. Lectures
that's
about color are so useful.
Yeah.
So I hope you can join us.
Yes, always the first Wednesday of the month. And it took me a while to figure out when the first of the month was, but it's Saturday. June 1st is on Saturday.
Okay.
So next Wednesday will be the first Wednesday.
Yeah, so it's June 5th is the talk. And the talks are $25 each, or if you're a member of Club Gotham, you get a year's worth of talks for the price of your Club Gotham subscription, which is $125 a year. So that's a really good deal if you're going to come to multiple talks.
It's a great deal. Just 5 talks pays for the Club Gotham, and then you get all the other benefits as well.
Exactly.
So that is nice.
All right. I think. Oh, where were you going to say?
The other housekeeping I was going to mention is that we just received our reorder of some of the Frank Lloyd Wright fabrics. So the Martin House quilt kit in water is now back in stock. We have the wide back in stock. All the bundles are back in stock now. So those of you that didn't quite make it in the last round, here's your chance to get it again.
Yeah, and if you signed up for the notify on our website, you're going to get an email to let you know that the thing is back in stock.
I do anticipate it selling out again relatively quickly, though, I have to admit. So if you were thinking about it, don't wait too long.
Especially the blue one.
Well, that one, the earth one never went out of stock.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the water, it was gone. So we did get those back in stock. So that's nice. Cool. I wasn't sure if we would be able to, but we did.
I think that's it for tonight, unless you can think of something else that we need to remind anybody of.
Not that I can think of.
Okay. I'm going to make something, maybe a little like throw quilt with the dog park to give to my puppies. For anyone who doesn't know, I am fostering a litter of puppies right now. It is a lot of work, and I would not recommend this to anyone, but they sure are cute.
They are very cute.
Yeah.
Are you going to make one for each puppy? Because they're all going to go to different homes, I would imagine.
That's a fair point. I'm definitely not going to make one for each puppy. There's 6 puppies. Maybe I'll make one and my dog gets to keep it instead of one of the puppies. You want to see one of them? This is the teeny one that's been sick. Look how cute she is. She was under my chair because she didn't want to be in my lap anymore.
Oh,
she weighs less than 1.5 pounds.
I could literally just hold her in one of my hands.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
She was that tiny.
Teeny baby.
But she's looking better already. She was more active.
She definitely has more energy. And like today she was playing with the other puppies and she went and had some water on her own and tried to eat some kibble on her own. So
great.
We're looking up.
Awesome. Good job, puppy. Good job, mama.
It's been so much work.
Yeah.
All right. So thanks for joining us, everybody. We will be back next week with more fun and more fabrics and more silliness. And we thank you for joining us. We like spending our Tuesday nights with you, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for joining.
Bye.
Bye.